Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here, myself Charlie. I'm on before the video starts. Please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try to become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Now, it has been a big day for England and England fans in football because we have found out both our Nations League opponents and, I think potentially more importantly, who the manager is going to be for those Nations League games, because Thomas Tuchel has extended his contract to 2028, which means it looks like he will lead us into the home Euros 2 years' time. Now, as an England Supporters Travel Club member, I'm not entirely sure what to make of this move. A lot of people have said it's shades of Capello, who, of course, infamously before 2010 extended his contract when all was sweet and all was rosy, and then came Frank Lampard, Germany, and all that in the round of 16, which, of course, was preceded by some pretty horrendous football against Algeria and the USA, and a lucky win against Slovenia. Well, I say lucky. We got through by the skin of our teeth, and Germany quite comprehensively dismantled us, which led to his position being untenable and him being sacked. Fast forward 16 years later, and again, it's a similar position. A European coach, non-English, who has a tremendous European pedigree, finds himself coming into a World Cup where England are strong, not favourites, but contenders. And it's been a big bit with Tuchel, a bit of a burn it all down approach. You know, we've seen him pick players, for example, like Jordan Henderson, that has got the fans sort of thinking, well, Tuchel's only around for the World Cup. And even the attitude, I think, in Germany, of course, Tuchel's native homeland has been, well, clearly the English are going all in on this 2026 World Cup. What I think will be very interesting to see is what then progresses after this World Cup. Now, two things that could happen are obvious. One is we do reasonably well at the World Cup, even go on to win it, because I think we are contenders for it, let's be realistic, and Tuchel keeps his job and we go forth. Or the second thing is that he has a poor World Cup and we're left really muddling around 2 years out from a home Euros. I worry about the second option, and I don't always want to be negative, but I do worry about the second option or the second potential, because let's be realistic here. There has been blips so far in his reign. I think it's fair to say. I think I was at the Senegal game. It was pretty diabolical. And that was the first time probably during the qualification period that we'd faced a reasonably tough opponent. We'd had Serbia and Albania in our group, but they didn't really offer a lot. And Senegal, I think, was probably the first big test, and it was a test that we quite comprehensively failed. Now, I know that was after the long season. There was players who were all over the shop, going off to the Club World Cup, coming back, and etc., etc. So I think there are factors that could be said there for why it went so badly. But let's be realistic. There has been times, anyone who has been to watching them, where the football has been pretty poor under Tuchel. I'm not expecting us to win every game 9-0, but I think the one that stands out for me was Andorra at Villa Park. Latvia as well at Wembley was pretty bad. And even Serbia to an extent recently, which was a dead rubber, so I do understand, was not the greatest of performances. We have, of course, got through qualification, because we always do, because we seem to end up with quite poor groups. But I do think, like I say, there's something to be said for that Senegal result, and also this burn it all down strategy that I keep mentioning, that seems to be the idea of, we're not going to bother about blooding in young players because I'm here to win a tournament. Well, now that sort of has to be rethought, because not only is he here to supposedly win the tournament this year, he's also got to think about the home Euros, which England fans will expect us to do well at. Of course they will. It's a home tournament. We should be going into that as favourites, I think you would be fair to say, with the players we've got. There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes with England as well. Rumours of a rift with Jude Bellingham, of course. Tuchel came out with a bizarre comment, I think, about his mother not liking Bellingham, if I remember rightly. There also is rumours doing the rounds on social media, and I don't always buy them, but that Bellingham's been told he won't be in the World Cup squad. I don't know how true that is, but I think one of the big guns will miss out, and whoever that is, we will be looking at and saying, oh, why are they not on the plane? That's a big call, though, for a manager, and that's not just a problem with Tuchel. That will be a problem with anyone who is in charge. I think the issue is if it is, for example, Bellingham or even a Cole Palmer, there'll be people jumping on the bandwagon saying, oh, it's a generational talent being mismanaged and we've still got him. So there's a lot of different factors, I think, going into this that will be very, very intriguing to keep an eye on. But I shall look forward to finding out and following along the journey. As always, guys, please let us know what you think. Please like, comment and subscribe. England fans, let us know what you think. Also, yeah, just to touch on Nations League draw, Spain, Croatia and Czechia. It's a tough draw, but Croatia aren't what they once were. They've got some good young players, but they're not the players that Modric and Rakitic and Perisic and Mandzukic, and the list goes on. That great team that, of course, broke our hearts in 2018. And, of course, Spain, that is a tough one. You would expect us to struggle, I think, in that one, because Spain, for me, are the favourites going into this World Cup. I don't care what anyone says about different things. I think they're undoubtedly the favourites. And Czech Republic, you'd back us in that one. But again, you never know with England these days. As always, please let us know what you think. Please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. As I try and become one-man sports news bandwagon. As always, have a great day.